In Christianity Not Today, we look at culture and things that are not so Christian today and then provide some Christian answers for those things. Now, today we're looking at a institution that is secular in nature, but is actually doing something that should actually shame some Christians who are not outspoken about the transgender issue, because the World Boxing Council is now starting to practice what they have been preaching for so long, which is that they care about protecting their athletes, and so now they are protecting their female athletes, and now a man can't go around beating up on a woman. And so the Christian Post reports this. According to them, the World Boxing Council is going to launch a transgender category to protect female fighters. Months after banning trans-identified males from competing against women, the head of the World Boxing Council reportedly said the organization is looking into launching a new category for trans fighters to ensure safety and inclusion. We are going to put out a global call for those who are interested in 2023 and will set up the protocols, start consultation, and most likely create a league and a tournament. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman told The Telegraph last week, "We are doing this because of safety and inclusion." Now, there's just a couple things to say about this. And the first one is this, is that, by the way, they are creating this league, and it will be much like the WNBA. No one will watch it because nobody wants to see a bunch of mostly men dressed up as women fighting each other. I can't think of anything that would be less athletic and less important to culture than that. But also want to say this. They made it very clear that they're doing this for inclusion and safety. And let's just be honest. They're doing this simply for safety's sake. This has nothing to do with inclusion. This just simply has to do with protecting women from a bunch of mostly men who want to fight other women. And by the way, speaking of protecting, one of the reasons that we stand up against transgender athletes is not just for the sake of the females involved here, which again, because this is basically simply a problem in female sports and not a problem in male sports, because no male competing in any athletic competition that is competitive is worried about a female coming in and taking all their accolades. This is simply a problem in female sports. But it's not just about protecting female sports. And it's not just about standing up for Judeo-Christian truth, although that is important. It is also about protecting these athletes who are going after accolades and awards that will ultimately be emotionally unfulfilling. I spoke about this in the past when Leah Thomas was doing his thing, or Michael Thomas, whatever his name is, when he was racing against women in swimming competitions, going against young girls, and doing so as a man. He was competing for rewards that he knows are superficial, that he knows don't really mean anything. Down deep in his bones, just like you can tell what his biological sex is in those bones, down deep in those bones is also the understanding that those rewards are ultimately unfulfilling and don't provide him the satisfaction that if he actually earned them legitimately, he would experience. And that's important. So we're doing this for the athlete's sake, and we're doing this for the sake of the women who are involved in this situation and protecting them. But we're also doing this for the sake of truth. And this is why I wanted to bring this up. If the World Boxing Council is willing to stand up for these kind of things, then I see no reason why the church can't actually speak up against transgenderism and gender transitioning, minors especially, and adults, and why we won't help people understand that their God-given biological sex is their identity. And more importantly, why don't we understand that that's not really what identity is made up of at the end of the day, that you're so much more than your biological sex. See, I think we're learning something from culture once again as the church. And this is the real problem. When the church is not proclaiming from the rooftops the truth that the whole world should hear, no wonder the culture is continually shifting away from the church and becoming more secular. So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video. So you definitely need to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Anything Heard come your way. Thanks for watching.